Hey everybody, welcome back. Can't do it without a formal wave and a hello. I'm back at Central Yharnam. Apparently you need 1 insight in order to actually activate the doll and level up. If I bought an insight from the fountain, it would pretty much cost me... Probably wouldn't cost me 1 level, but it would cost me close to 1 level. So I figured, why don't we just go fight the boss? We'll get this clusterfuck on the road. This is my way of saying, like... I think it might be optimistic to assume we beat this boss on our first try. I mean, that's Souls in general. We're set up fairly well. You know, we've got 20 blood vials, 20 quicksilver bullets. I am not proud of the amount of tries it took me to actually beat this boss on my, I don't want to say first attempt because that misrepresents it. The first time through this section of the game, it took me longer than I'd like to admit. The dogs will respawn behind us, of course, but we don't need to deal with them if we don't want to. I'm gonna use a pebble here. Aggro this guy. Birds typically drop pebbles, and that's our boss arena right in front of us. No fog wall until we fight him for the first time. I guess they don't want to spoil that there's gonna be a boss fight there. Now, we did level up our weapon once. It's not fundamentally gonna change how much damage we're dealing. I mean literally, it fundamentally will change how much damage we're dealing. Functionally, it's probably not going to make that big of a difference. Do we have anything we want to use? Like, we could use oil urn to light our enemy, to oil up our enemy, and then they could get lit on fire, I suppose. But we don't have any Molotov cocktails left, so I'm pretty sure that we're left with pretty much what we got right here. I gotta get ready, because the music might be, like, insanely loud for this section. Say hello to the Cleric Beast, everybody. Hello, Cleric Beast. This is, oh yeah, this is a little too loud here. Not necessarily the world's most difficult boss in Souls history. However, substantially more annoying, in my opinion, than that first giant from Dark Souls 2, as an analog for like first boss in the game. You do tend to fight this boss a little bit like the way you fight bosses in Souls, which is pretty much, don't hurt me, just by like circling around it, underneath it. With 20 blood vials though, I'd say we've got a pretty good shot. He says as he gets crushed and loses like 80% of his HP. Again, it's about aggression, man. I failed the aggression game. When I was being aggressive, it was going so well. We're gonna try to stay behind it, and we're gonna just hit it whenever we have the opportunity to do so. Camera's a little bit problematic during this fight. Find myself sometimes not being able to see the enemy tells. Maybe that's on me for being so close to it, though. And if I end up using 20 blood vials for this, shit, man, then I end up using 20 blood vials for this as far as I'm concerned. I will do what needs to be done. I will off-screen farm blood echoes to pick up blood vials if necessary. Now, a lot of enemies in Bloodborne, a lot of bosses, I should say, in Bloodborne, get stronger, like they all have multiple phases or something like that. I don't know if Cleric Beast does, right off the top of my head. Easier or harder than Taurus Demon? That's a good question. Taurus Demon gave me a hell of a time. It took me hours to beat the Taurus Demon the first time I fought him. Which is to say, it didn't take me hours to actually win the fight. However, it took me hours to have a successful run. This is going really well so far, though. If nothing else, it's got me feeling like even if we die now, which would be catastrophic, like I'd feel really bad about it, but even if we died now, I'd feel like we performed pretty well, and I could get my confidence back under me for the next fight. This is like it's amazing. It trains you so well to play Bloodborne. Instead of being like super defensive, go buck wild, Cleric Beast is dead. That was surprisingly easy. Especially considering I haven't leveled up. Just again goes to show you, man. You know, these Souls games, the more you practice, the more you play. It turns out the obstacles that previously seemed insurmountable, really not that insurmountable at all. I barely broke a sweat there. So now we have 4 insight represented by that eye there. We're still in offline mode because the servers are down, but we'll go back and at least we'll be able to invest our souls into something a little bit more permanent and useful than just, you know, this Yharnam armor. And we'll probably be able to level up maybe 5 or 6 times, maybe even more. I think the first couple of levels cost like 600, so we'll pick up the fairly standard Dark Souls meta. You know, we'll pick up strength, vitality, endurance.
I am a doll. look after you. Honorable hunter, pursue the echoes of blood, and I will channel them into your strength. You will hunt beasts, and I will be here for you to embolden your sickly spirit.
Alright, I don't know anything about the deeper story of Bloodborne yet. I have a feeling that we're the bad guys. I'm just throwing that out there. That guy's like, just go out and hunt some beasts. It's what you do, right? And then this lady's like, I'm just a puppet. I'm just a doll. I'll embolden your sickly spirit. I'm telling you. She's going to enable us to become strong, and then we're going to have to fight her at the end or something like that. Don't comment about that. I don't want to know. Alright, so, yeah, let the echoes become my strength. Bearer of the curse. Seek larger. Seek more powerful souls. Okay, first level costs 829 here. I'm going to pick up, like... Well, let's look at this. We can probably afford to pick up 5 levels. Let's take 2 vitality, 3 endurance. Yeah. And we could buy some more Molotovs or something if we wanted to, but...
Farewell.
Yeah, farewell to you too and all that. Accept gifts from the messengers. Is this our... Consume insight and ring the beckoning bell to enlist the cooperation of hunters from other worlds. Silencing blank ends such forms of cooperation. Oh, sweet, yeah, so we can put up our beckoning bell here, and we can put on our silencing blank. And the beckoning bell spends 1 insight, even if it doesn't find anybody. It spends 1 insight, and then it finds a co-op partner for us. We might have to use that at some point. We can repair our blunderbuss if it's necessary. That's not necessary. Okay, perfect. So we picked up some levels. We're going to be stronger, and we're going to go tackle the next section of the game. Look, I know if you're playing Bloodborne, you're probably like, oh, I can't believe this motherfucker just beat Cleric Beast on the first try without even breaking a sweat. Hey, man, I have that initial experience. Kate can attest. Spent like 90 minutes trying to fight the Cleric Beast, gave up, went to bed, came back the next night, played for like a half hour, finally beat the Cleric Beast and made it through. Just got kind of lucky to make this one work. There's no, well, there might be like a gold pine resin-esque workaround that just makes it like Taurus Demon style easy, but mostly I think that one is just knowing what to do. You know, staying around it, knowing its tells. It didn't even really get a chance to do that many attacks, which I'm quite happy about. We didn't level up strength, but sometimes when you level up to a certain level, you get stat points in things that you didn't even level up, like some attributes improved. It's gonna sound weird, but it looks like our damage is still pretty much the same. I'm not... excuse me. I'm not intending on going full saw cleaver for the whole game. There are other weapons, and there are much cooler weapons. Like, for those of you who know Souls, I'm gonna be the dude who takes the thing that everybody else takes. I'm probably gonna take the Kirk Hammer, and I'll run that as like an alternate weapon for like more high damage foes. Get some more blood vials there, but we'll see. For now, we're moving onwards and upwards to boss number 2, which it doesn't necessarily require us to go check out this larger section of the game, but there's a larger section of the game that I need to check out. Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I think it 100% does require us to check out the larger section of the game. So I'm going to do so. And anytime I get the opportunity to throw blood vials into storage, I am absolutely going to take it. I'm looking at the screen, and it's looking a little dark again. I hate to flip-flop back and forth between, you know, whether... That guy's got Quicksilver bullets back there, but we don't really need them. I hate to flip-flop back and forth, but this is looking like a little prohibitively dark. There we go. It makes the... Like, when I brighten it with the... In XSplit settings, it kind of makes the game look a little... Like, the fires in particular look a little crazy. It looks alright, actually, now that I think about it. We don't need to come back and rest here, but we might be able to pick up another weapon from this guy. Sometimes he has items for us.
Yes, I see. But the Great Bridge is the only way to the Cathedral Ward. And during the hunt, the bridge is closed. You could try the aqueduct. There's a rather, how shall I put it, colourful area south of the Great Bridge. From there, an aqueduct leads to the Cathedral Ward.
Colorful area south of the Great Bridge leads to Cathedral Ward.
I don't imagine you have much of a choice, do you?
You got a weapon for me, dog? No. Okay, so he's just giving me the flavor text about the aqueduct. We could have encountered the aqueduct a little earlier if we had chosen to, but I chose not to. In order to get to the aqueduct, I think... I don't know if we have to fight these guys, but I'm going to fight them, and I'm gonna not die. Step 1 of this plan is very much don't pass away. We could run past them if we want to. I mean, there's no real reason we need to fight them, except that enemies will follow us for quite some time. But we want to go back, I think we want to go back to Dogtown, which is this way. So people are going to be, I haven't even seen the comments on episode 1, but I know people are going to be mad. They're like, you're killing the dogs. Why are you killing the dogs? They're in the cages. That's why. They can get out of the cages, man. And if they get out of the cages, they're quick. I don't take any extra pleasure in, you know, murdering these caged beasts. I'm just saying they can break the cages and get out. You gotta do what you gotta do. That guy's probably a little too far away for me to make this happen. I'm very, like, not conservative with my Quicksilver bullets. Maybe I should be, but I use them all the time. I usually have too many. And by too many, I mean I have some in storage, I guess. Alright, so we're gonna head down this way, and we're gonna start to encounter some enemies that are a little bit trickier than just the basic hollow type enemies that we've been encountering up to this point. So that should allow us to heal as much as we can, and then we'll get the kill as well. Parrying, very important when you can do so. And now we're back up to the maximum on blood vials. Now these enemies are not so bad. Things can go terribly, terribly wrong, though. You know, it's been known to happen. Let's just put it that way. And there are some items available in this area as well. Some of which are... ooh, there's a sniper, too. Trying to see where the bullets are coming from. Oh, he's just right there. Some of the items are great. Some of them are not so great, but... we're going to pick them all up anyway, because I think we have the opportunity to do so, and we can do so fairly easily. Another Cold Blood Dew. I should probably pop those... Cold Blood Dews. Now notice there are some items on these... Oh, maybe I'm in the wrong area. Yeah, I think I'm in the wrong area to do what I'm trying to do. Like, I'm in the right area for the game, but in terms of, like, picking up spare items, no, I think I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Unless I'm mistaken. One second. Yeah, I think I'm wrong. Anyway, there's an enemy over here that I probably should have been paying closer attention to than if there's any items attached to these chains. I don't love the parry, to be honest with you. Like, from a mechanic standpoint, I really like it. But when it comes to actually, like, dealing damage, I prefer to go for just basically attacking the enemy before they attack us. Maybe I'm supposed to be higher if I want to get those items. Anyway, I'm just going to move it along this way. And this is the aqueduct. There's not always going to be like a formal sign that tells us we're entering a new area. In a way, the areas seem a little larger than they were in Dark Souls 2. It wasn't like, you know, you run into an area, you're there for 10 minutes, and then you're in another new area. Let's try a transforming attack to finish the job here. Got it done. I'm actually very, very pleased with that. Quicksilver bullets. More bloodstone shards would be awesome. We were a little short on being able to upgrade our weapon again. Not that I necessarily want to. And we'll just go pick up all the items around here. Cold Blood Dew again. It's just a very fun word to say. Cold Blood Dew! And they've taken a little bit more of a... I know there's a ladder there, but they've taken a little bit more of a simpler approach to knowing how valuable it is. It's not like soul of a great prophet, soul of a blah, blah, blah. It's just Cold Blood Dew 1, Cold Blood Dew 2. At least that's how it's been so far. I really thought that they would die. You will be amazed, playing Bloodborne, the amount of enemies that you don't kill them in one hit, then you have to throw down. That area scares the crap. Oh, that's just lighting effects. I was very scared. Oh, this is totally where we came. We could have come down in the first area and grabbed that item. I think those are Cold Blood Dews and maybe something else. But anyway, there's so many times where you almost one-shot an enemy, but then instead they actually live, and then 2 damage from your gun finishes them off. It's ridiculous. I think there are rats down here, so we got to be careful. But let's land on this anyway. All right, or we'll completely miss it. Got 2 pebbles there. But this is actually an important part for us to be at here. This is our next shortcut, I think, that we can open up here. And if we popped a Cold Blood Dew, we probably could buy our new weapon. I think I had the other weapon before this point in the game. This ladder is hilariously long, by the way. I think this is also where we can get a little bit of some story text and maybe pick up an item that will be very... Excuse me? Excuse me? I thought it was just birds here, yeah. I thought I got jumped by like a hollow or something, you know, one of the enemies as I came over here. Madman's Knowledge, if we pop that, that gives us some insight. Again, it's pretty much humanity, sort of. Gotta fight another one of these guys. Really can't stress enough that the first time through the game, these guys seem pretty annoying most of the time. You probably don't need to use 5 bullets on them, but if it gets the job done, helps you pick up some extra blood vials, who really cares, you know? That's another one for storage. And we've got an individual here that we can discuss stuff with.
Trying to fool me to open this door. Heavens, the depths of depravity.
People in Yharnam aren't very nice to us, which I can't, you know, the first time you're coming through here, you're like, man, I wish these people were nicer. I'm like freeing them from the monsters at the door. But no, maybe we are the monster, you know? Maybe that guy with the brick was actually like her husband or something. We just murdered him. Closed by a device. I wonder what that could be. We'll open this boy up. I meant to say this bad boy. I said just this boy. And it was very... It had a totally different tone. Let's put it that way. Now I gotta figure out where we are. Oh, we're back in Fountain Town. I forget where the closest lamp here is. But anyway... from here, this is like where we fought those dogs in episode 1. We came up here, and then the bridge is like right over there where we fought the Cleric beast.
Who are you? I don't know your voice, but I know that smell. Are you a hunter? And did you look for my mum? Daddy never came back from the hunt, and she went to find him, but now she's gone too. I'm all alone and scared.
Yeah, we'll take it on.
Really? Oh, thank you. My mum wears a red jeweled brooch. It's so big and beautiful. You won't miss it. Oh, I mustn't forget. If you find my mum, give her this music box.
Alright, we got this tiny music
It
box.
plays one of Daddy's favourite songs. And when Daddy forgets us, we play it for him so he remembers. Mum's so silly running off without it.
Alright, well that's not foreboding at all. We'll put that tiny music box on our quick bar here, and we can use it, I think. Content ID match in a box right there. Anyway, we're gonna come back down this way and go back to the aqueducts. Our main thing over the rest of this episode here is going to be unlocking that elevator that we couldn't use because it said, you know, this device is like broken for some reason. So we're gonna get introduced to another new kind of like horrifying enemy right here. These swamp creatures act like they dead, but they ain't. And they try to trick you. It's such an obvious trick. When you at first see the item in there, you're like, there's no way I'm getting tricked by that. But you'll go for it. I guarantee it the first time you go through, you'll go for it. You'll say, oh, well, if it's going to be dangerous, of course it's got to be good then. And then you pick it up and it's like a freaking pebble or something like that. I think these guys do not have... Yeah, they don't impart any kind of status effect or anything like that. So they're not that bad. They're relatively annoying if you don't know what's going on. Hunter's Mark is something that we will end up using from time to time. There are some items back here. Sorry, not back there. They're on the next level up on the aqueduct. But I don't think I'm going to get those on camera. I don't think they're particularly useful. I'm going to be honest, I'm mostly using the transform attack here. Pretty much for variety's sake. But also I think it gives us a little strategic benefit of being... get some blood back at least. Putting us a little bit of a further range from the enemies. Excuse me. I didn't realize you were there. A lot of them are going to drop blood vials, so we can be fairly safe using as many blood vials as we need to use, and we still have some in storage anyway, so it's no big deal that we use some here. Watch out. There will be enemies that are going to jump us from the shadows. Or, I mean, maybe they just blend in with the sewer. That does happen from time to time as well. I think there's an enemy in here. Yeah, so I want to be a little careful about waiting for these individuals to show up. Yeah, kind of lucky there that the power attack even hit to begin with. Okay, so that attack has got to be a poison attack. I was mistaken earlier. I think that this is the last wave of enemies we need to fight. And I know that there's one in here. It's not really effective to play dead the second time. Yeah, I just watched The Imitation Game. The hardest time to lie someone is when they're expecting to be lied to, right? Now, there is an enemy that I don't want to mess with right now down there. Shades of Dark Souls 1. Is it lower on... It wasn't lower on Deadburg. What was that area? Undead Chapel. Undead Cathedral? One of the two. Alright, so this is the Great Bridge, and this is actually our opportunity to activate this. Covered in a little bit of green goo now. But the good news is that we don't actually have to go back to that aqueduct unless we really want to. And I'll tell you right away that I don't really want to. I will tell you, though... Oh, did we rest recently or something? We have 19 blood vials. I'm kind of thinking, why wouldn't we go over to this area? We have the opportunity to actually make this a 2-boss video relatively easily. If I wanted to, I could stretch that out and try, you know, make it into its own video. It's a cool fight. And maybe I will end up making it into its own video by accident. I'm actually going to heal up here. I know that's going to seem ridiculous. There's going to be a lot of enemies here, though. We got to watch out. There will be a little bit of a moment here that we're going to have to be careful about. Hey! They're, like, completely not plussed at all that that boulder just went by. But whatever, I guess. No big deal. Quicksilver bullets. 2 blood vials. That's perfect. I've never been hit by that flaming boulder, but I know that one day it's going to happen. It's just like the Drake strike on, well, I forget the name specifically of the area, but right after you meet Solaire in Dark Souls 1. I'm wasting so many Quicksilver bullets. Oh, God. Probably, were it not for janky stairs there, we would be dead. So I'll take that, I'll take that. My mistake. But hey, we're still alive. We're gonna die at some point in Bloodborne. It's guaranteed, man. I'm just getting a little bit lucky at this section of the game, I guess. We could even die against these enemies right here. These 2 jokers can be a little tricky. Ah, there we go. So we got the backstab on him. His friend should go down relatively easily. I'd say we got a little lucky that we managed to land that riposte, but that was handled pretty tactically. So we get another blood vial in storage. Some bold hunter's marks, which you might want to take advantage of here. Bold hunter's mark is very useful. It's basically a homeward bone. You go back to the hunter's dream and you don't lose echoes. But instead of using that, I'm going to come through here and we're going to have a little bit of a cutscene, I think. And then we're going to fight boss numero dos.
Beasts all over the shop. You'll be one of them, sooner or later.
First time I saw this guy, I actually thought he was going to be our friend. He's not very friendly, and I've botched the intro here. You know what? I'm going to use blood vials as is necessary here. This is Father Gascoigne. I don't necessarily know. And he's a little bit harder than the Cleric Beast. But weirdly enough, the Cleric Beast took me substantially more tries to beat. There is a little trick with Father, and I'll admit that I don't fully know how to implement it, but I've heard smarter people than myself talking about it. Saying that if you have the music box, there's actually a place on the level where you can use it. And if you use it there, he'll get kind of stunned for a second. should have been dead there, but you might not have seen it, but I actually did a dodge. I didn't just get super lucky and not get hit. Alright, there we go. Let's replenish some of our blood there. His enemies in Bloodborne, man, bosses in particular, their projectiles are awesome, and ours are absolute horseshit. Like, ours are just useful for parrying. Theirs are useful for, like, anything that they desire. Alright, this is good. This is going pretty well so far. I am using a lot more blood vials than I'd like to admit necessarily, but I've also glitched out his AI, so he's, like, pretty much in love with these tombstones over here. And, of course, that's effectively meaningless as I eat shit great against him a second later. Oh, my God. It's a terrible death. I can't remember if we reawaken in the Hunter's Dream. There's our first death. I'm not surprised, I guess, that it came against that boss. I thought I was doing pretty well. And we lost. People are always like, GG, you lost like 4,000 blood echoes. It don't matter, man. 4,000 blood echoes pales in comparison to the knowledge that I earned for losing there. Now I know, hey, don't be an idiot next time. You'll probably have a much better chance. The real punishment is not losing 4,000 blood echoes. It's losing 4,000 micro... No, wait, I got it all wrong. I was trying to think of how long I actually lost. In terms of the loading screen. But now it looks like I'm just the idiot. Let's go to our inventory quickly. Got 6 cold blood dues. Let's just use those up. That gives us 2,100. And then a cold blood due 3 gives us 1,000. I actually should be able to get a new weapon here, if there's a new weapon available. And if there's not a new weapon available, then what we'll do is we'll just level up a few times, I guess. We don't need to level up right now. We can totally beat that boss at our existing level. But if there is a new weapon available, I'd like to get it, not so much because we need it, but because it would be interesting to have, like, a different style of attacking. Oh, the Kirk Hammer. Did I call it something different? I think I might have called it something different to start with. Anyway, we're going to buy the Kirk Hammer. Basically no souls remaining. Kirk Hammer, oh, it requires a specific amount of strength. I remember. So now we need to level up strength 4 times in order to actually be able to use it. I make this mistake every single time. I'm trying to think of how the fastest way to get to the Great Bridge is. Or not the Great Bridge, sorry. The fastest way to get to the Gascoigne fight. And I believe that it is this way, and then you can probably, considering we're at full blood vials, we can just run through the brick-carrying guys, take the elevator, do the flaming bridge section again, and then go fight him. So we'll do at least one more of those over the course of this video. I'm optimistic that it'll turn out well. You know, it's the standard character action game thing. If you're fighting a big-ass enemy, no problem, man. If you're fighting an enemy that's the same size as you, get ready. Shit's about to get real. He's not actually that bad. I mean, I say that, but I won't know until, like, my 10th time through Bloodborne which enemies are actually bad and which enemies are not bad. And I'm going to alliance strat these guys a little bit, because, to be honest with you, we don't have to fight these guys. We pretty much only have to fight a couple of people on the way to the boss, and I'd rather not hemorrhage any blood vials if we don't absolutely have to. This guy maybe we'll take out just for sport, basically. Like, the first couple of times I fought Capra Demon, I was like, he's not that bad. Turns out, on future playthroughs, Capra Demon is the boss, like, most likely to give me trouble by a substantial margin. Capra Demon is so annoying. The first time you fight him, at least. When you fight him later in the ruins, he's not so bad. I forget what the area is actually called. It's been a while since I played Dark Souls 1. It's been over a year, actually. We played it as a race on the NLSS like the week prior to the release of Dark Souls 2. Maybe there is a good reason to fight these guys. No, they're not going to come. That's fine. Alright, we'll wait for the elevator to get here. Thankfully, a little bit faster than the elevator in the Undead Church. And then we'll come down this way. I really like the blood effects. I like how you look just absolutely like you've been... Ooh, got lucky to not fall down there, I guess. Got lucky there were, you know, bars on the walls. But, I like the way you look like you've been a total badass. Wait for these guys. I don't really know... I don't know how this section is supposed to go, is what I'm trying to say, I guess. Like, some of the enemies run away. Some of them stay and fight. They seem like completely unaffected by the flaming boulder that just rode by them, but you know, that's their prerogative. They're entitled to do whatever they want. We usually pick up some extra souls there. It's a good moment the first time through, at least. Alright, what do you want? Staircases, man. It's one of those things... Oh my god, I didn't get the parry right! No! No! Alright, we'll be fine. Again, hemorrhaging blood vials, not that big of a deal. Again, another situation there where that guy paid out with... Or, that guy came so close to death but needed one more gunshot to finish him off. Considering our gunshot ability does so little damage, it's amazing how often that happens. We don't have to fight those guys again. I think it's better for us to just go in and fight Father Gascoigne. I don't think we really have anything else. We don't have any Molotovs. If we did, it's just a way to shortcut the fight, basically. Alright, let's give it a try again. This is one that I can make happen with just skill, hopefully. And actually paying attention to his attacks instead of just going buck wild is probably going to help us out a lot here. So let's start by actually getting in there and getting some of our HP back. You jerk. Oh, shit. I've never actually parried him. I know that you can parry the bosses, and I've known that for quite some time, but I've never made it work because I've been too busy focusing on survival as opposed to, you know, those higher level goals. Okay, we'll try to snag him on one of those. I bet that a riposte would actually deal a ton of damage. Okay. Getting a little ridiculous, Father. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Make sure we get the parry. Oh, that's solid. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. See, he gets a little bit more serious as time goes on. It's one of those bosses that has kind of like those transforming... oh, yeah, you're going to stab me through a tree? Sure. They get stronger as time goes on. They've almost got multiple phases, so to speak. His gun is way more annoying than our gun. I'm just going to stay back a little bit here. He's below 50%, which is good news for us. And he's probably going to transform again. Yeah, there he goes. Okay. So he transforms into full-on werewolf status. Or Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. No, 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 no. Get out of there. You don't understand. You don't understand. No, okay. Pop some freaking blood vials, you jerk! Father Gascoigne doesn't care. He'll stun-lock the shit out of you. God dang it. Well, the Bloodborne salt is starting to rise already, but we almost got him there, and I'm confident we'll get him next time. For now, I think that's going to do it for this episode. I'm not going to subject you to this loading screen. If you enjoyed it, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. And, of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new Bloodborne episode. See you then. You know, just imagine I'm waving right now. Goodbye.